Hello. Today I'm joined by one of Southport FC's summer recruits, Moali, whose footballing journey isn't the usual pathway for a non-league player. Born in the Netherlands to Somalian parents, Mo moved over to England when he was 18, but despite the change of scenery, football has always remained a constant in his life. Whilst he may only be a non-league player over here, on the international stage, he's a Somalian hero and has been part of history for the country. Hi Mo, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, good. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So how are you settling into life at Southport? Obviously you joined back in June. So how are you settled in?
Yeah, obviously it's been a longest preseason ever. You know, then again, it's good obviously to get to know the new lads and give me enough time to settle in. Yeah, it's been a long time, but raring to go now.
Obviously you joined whilst we were still in lockdown. So what was that like? Was it a weird feeling or were you just relieved to have a new club like during lockdown?
It was strange times. No one has experienced anything like this before, so I wasn't the only one. But yeah, obviously once the interest from Southport was there, after speaking to Liam a few times, it was for me an easy decision to make, to join Southport.
What attracted you to the club? Was like Liam a big pulling factor for you?
Yeah, definitely. I've had many chats with him, and the way he sold the club to me, obviously I'm always been aware of Southport, playing against, yourself, for the last two seasons, but the way he spoke about the club, his ambitions, and his careers, himself as a manager, really attracted me. The amount of players he's helped move on to the Football League, for example, and Championship he has won. So, he's been there, he's done it, and I would love to be part of obviously the team, and hopefully we have a successful season.
Of course, as I mentioned in the introduction, your football path to this stage isn't the usual kind that non-league players go through. So obviously
hmm
you were brought up in Holland with a Somalian family. So what was that like for you?
Um, my parents obviously they fled, the civil war back in the 1990s. My two older siblings are born in Somalia, and I was then the first one to be born, obviously in Holland. Um, growing up, we had a good upbringing. Our parents tried their best, to give us the best life possible, and I'm just trying to pay them back now. Do my best on and off the pitch, and like I said, upbringing was good. Really had really good upbringing. Lovely parents, obviously siblings. Good support system around me, which helped me obviously excel in life.
So was you always brought up with like those? Obviously, even though you was brought up in Holland, was you always brought up with
Mhm.
like those values from Somalia? Like, was your identity very strong still?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, this how the way I was brought up. The culture is still there. At home we speak the language. All our kids do speak the language. So, when I went to join the national team, it was good because I speak the language, and like most of the players there, they know the culture. A lot of them they have been brought up in the diaspora, in different countries. But my language, speaking language, was pretty decent compared to some of the players there. So
Obviously, being in the Netherlands, it's a great football heritage there. So, did you enjoy learning your trade there?
yeah, obviously, come from a good footballing background, and the style of play in Holland obviously is different compared to the one in England. Which was very difficult for me to get used to in the beginning. Like I've always been a centre back, obviously growing up, but like in my youth career there, playing as a centre back, and then obviously making the transition into men's football here in England was really difficult. A lot more physical. I've had to get used to that, which I think I have done, over the last few seasons. But in the beginning, it was a bit of stop and start, but I'm grateful the way my career has spanned out. It kind of allowed me time to get used to the style of play, and I think I'm used to it now.
So, you started your career off at was it Al Fenzi Boys? Is that pronunciation good or bad?
Yeah, yeah, not bad, not bad. Yeah, before that I was playing for like a local village team, and I got picked up by Offensive Boys. It's a known team in the country. Good facilities, really good youth setup. Spent there most, obviously, my youth career. Uh, Went to Den Haag for a little bit. When I was there, um, Nathan Ake was there as well, new city signing. So played with him at the centre back. And it was good, man. Like I said, the youth there, really good coaches, and the philosophy and the style of play, really helped me, to become the player I am today.
So, of course, at the age of 18, your family moved to England. So, what was it like a change of country for you? Like, was it like a smooth transition, or did it take a bit of time to get used to things over here?
No, it was quite smooth because the reason why we moved over, like my mum, she has a lot of family living in Manchester. So growing up, I used to come to Manchester like once or twice a year, like during like term time. So I kind of knew where I was moving to before I come. So it was quite smooth, and obviously it's helped a lot because we've got a lot of family that do live in Manchester.
Obviously, it's a great city to move to, which also has a lot of football fans, very big football city. So, coming into
Hmm.
that, did that just increase your passion for the sport?
Yeah, obviously. When I did move here, obviously I did want to continue to play football. So straight away, I met a few people, and uh, like funny enough, like a lot of the guys that I was playing football with, they were not actually playing for a team. Like it was more like playing five-a-sides and small-sided games. But in Holland, we don't really do that. Like everyone displays for like an 11-a-side team. So I was like straight away, like I was playing five-a-sides and that with a lot of my mates. But then again, I was also playing like I signed for North Victoria at the time, but I was also playing like the footy on a Saturday, which like I say, a lot of the boys that I was like playing with at the time, they weren't, and like that was like what I was used to, play football on a Saturday. So I made sure that I signed up for a team. And like I say, it was difficult in the beginning, but yeah, I got used to it, But when I was playing there, I kind of got to know that it was a club with a background, with a history. We had lovely fans there and really good manager, which helped me to settle in, obviously, to English football. Jim Gannon, Stockport County manager, like he's helped me a lot getting used to the English football and shown a lot of faith in me. Had a lot of game time in those first 2 years, and that's kind of set me up nicely, obviously, going forward. After I left Northwich, I joined Glossop. Was there for about 6 months, I think. I started the season with them. I left there towards the end of the season, and then I spent like another 6 to 9 months with Mosley. Um, when I was there, really enjoyed my football. With the two gaffers there, Bandy and Lloyd. Proper non-league managers, but they make you enjoy the game, and that's why I really loved my spell there. The fans there were lovely as well, always welcoming my family and myself, and I had a really good time there. Just towards the end of that season, I joined Droylsden for about a month and a half, and that's when I went. The summer after, I went to Curzon. I spent two full seasons there.
Did you always have that ambition, like when just moving up? Did you always have the confidence in yourself that you could move up the football pyramid?
Yeah, like I'm myself biggest supporter. I know what I'm capable of, and it was just I think I always knew I could play at this level or higher. I knew that I had to get used to this style of play and the path that I've taken. Like I said, I've been blessed with the people that I've met, and the managers that I have worked with in this country. Like I said, Jim Cannon, Bandy and Lloyd have been a real help, in getting me where I am today. Um, so I knew, what I was capable of, and it doesn't faze me, obviously, to be where I am right now. But, everything takes time, and could have been sooner, could have took longer. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with the way things are panning out at the moment, and I'm just excited to see what the future holds for me.
And of course, you must have had a strong work ethic because when you came over here, you were studying as well. You've also had jobs in
Hmm.
factories. You're a driving instructor, so you've done a lot
Yeah, yeah,
alongside football as well, whilst also keeping having that focus on carrying on playing.
yeah. That's the way I've been brought up. Even growing up, back in Holland, like I used to do like the education system there slightly different, but I was always decent in school. I was doing the highest level of education there alongside my football. So we used to train like 3 nights a week, play on a Saturday. So 4 days a week we were, I've had to go football, and alongside I was always doing my education and stuff. And that's the way I've been brought up. My parents always said like, look, the football is all nice, but you need to have a plan B. So I've just continued that. When I come here, did a bit of education first, and then I started the working life, and it's not been easy. I've got a son right now as well. 4-year-old, and I'm loving life at the moment. I'm really busy. Working. Looking after my son. He's staying with me at the moment as well. So it's busy, but it's something I really enjoy. Working hard. On the pitch, off the pitch. Invest a lot of time in myself and my family as well. So, like I say, I'm busy, but I'm loving it every minute of it, and long may it continue.
And of course, whilst you've been doing well at Curzon, you play some really good football there and getting moved to Southport now, it must be really like just positive for you that you are working so hard, but you're getting those results as well, and things are working like you're doing the best for your family.
Yeah. It's like with all the hard work that I am putting in, it's good to see some things paying off. Obviously, I've had a really good time at Curzon. Met some good people there. Obviously, John Flanagan obviously brought me into the club. That shot like gave me the chance to prove myself at this level first and foremost. So I'm really grateful for that. And after obviously work with Mark last year, ex obviously league player, with his know-how of the game and the way he's helped me and developed me with Will Ryder, his assistant. That time there has been massive as well. Can't forget that to just set me up, the way I am right now. And with the success with the national team, it's just everything is just falling into place. And like I say, I just can't wait what the future holds, because I know I will be improving myself, and my club football and hopefully the national team football is also gonna benefit from that.
Well, we'll move on to that now. So it's nearly, I think it might be 12 months since you had that success with the Somali national team, where you got your first ever World Cup qualifying victory. So it must have been amazing to be a
Yeah.
part of that.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like Somalia is such a big football nation. They've had so much trouble, like political and unrest, like in the country. But for us footballers to be able to give them some joy back, it was massive. And they're extremely grateful for that. They're always on the social media. They're really active and always interacting with the players, and always asking like, when you guys playing again? Like, we can't wait to see you guys. You guys are heroes and stuff like that. So it just it's a big responsibility, but it's lovely to have that privilege as well, to be able to represent your nation.
Is it nice in a way when you've like there has been so much trouble that you're able to like unify the country, sort of like everyone will come together and enjoy the football?
Yeah, that makes it so much more sweet. Obviously, we didn't know. Me myself, I wasn't really aware that Somalia never had one before. I know that they normally do lose, but I didn't know it was the first ever victory until after the game. And the way, like the country has come together, celebrating, all over the country. It was not just in Somalia, but also the diaspora and living abroad. It had such a big impact, and just made us realize after, like, whoa, like what we've done actually is quite a big achievement.
And of course, for you, in that 1-0 victory over Zimbabwe, you got a man of the match performance as well. So even more
Yeah,
sweet for yourself personally. From the
yeah,
fact
obviously,
in Manchester to a man of the match performance in a World Cup qualifier.
yeah, obviously, to be able to win, and as a defender, to get a clean sheet as well. I take my pride in my clean sheet. So it was amazing. It was amazing, really.
And of course, a special moment for you as well, because weren't your brother also on the pitch sharing the moment with you? So
Yeah.
to be alongside your family must have been just at next level.
No, it was to be able to share that obviously with my role model, my big brother. It was amazing. It was lovely. To share that moment with him on the pitch. On the other side of the world. No, it was an amazing experience and something that I will treasure for life.
What were the celebrations like after? Was it quite a wild party that night?
Yeah, but then again, we had to focus, because we still had to obviously the return fixture. We had to travel obviously to Zimbabwe, and and play the away game. But the celebrations were good. We kept it quite professional. Just that one night, we got invited to a hotel the next day. Had some good food, good company, and then we had to jump on a flight and fly over there and get used to the conditions over there. There's a bit of altitude there, so less oxygen in the air, and it was difficult conditions. But it just wasn't meant to be in the return game. It was really close, but it just it was such a good experience that you want more, and I can't wait for the next fixtures to come, hopefully after COVID, and get some more experience.
And like you mentioned about the conditions, it must be a stark difference, like your club side of things. Because really, we consider like a trip to Gateshead being a difficult trip, a long day out. You're like flying, playing with like less air than usual.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously you can't get used to your, Gateshead's away and Blythe's away. They are always difficult, traveling such long journeys, and on a Tuesday night, for example, they're always tough. But then again, traveling to Africa, in Djibouti, the home game, it was 40 degrees that day. Every morning we had to train at 6 a.m. in the morning, to avoid the heat. And I believe the game was at 6 p.m. It was scheduled for 5 p.m. They changed it to 6 p.m. for it to cool down a little bit, but it was on the Astro pitch as well. You can imagine. It was really hot. That was the home game. The away game wasn't as hot. It was about 20, 25 degrees, which is still warm, obviously, but it was with altitude. So it was both two different conditions, but both were really difficult.
And am I right in saying for that game, like the squad was quite a new squad, new team? Like I don't play with each other that much. So how did you all gel? Was it like an instant click between you, like an instant team spirit?
Yeah, I do believe, if you know how to play, if you know the game, you do click. Maybe not with everyone, but we had such a short space of time to get to know each other. Literally, I only knew, obviously, two players before. One of them my brother, obviously, and the rest we just had to get to know each other there. We got there early, so we were there together for about 2 weeks before the game, which is quite unusual. But we had some time to get used to each other. You can imagine the other nations that you play against, they play with each other regularly, so they know each other and they just meet up for the national team games. But we didn't know each other. We had to get to know each other there and then. And I think that makes the achievement even more special. Because 2 weeks before that victory, we never knew of each other, most of the players, and we managed to create that history. And I do believe if we get more fixtures together, get to know each other better. And I think that victory also will attract better players for the national team. You can imagine that probably that have been players that have been approached by the federation that rather not play for the national team because they think they can play for a different nation. Maybe for England in the future or for Sweden, Norway. But those players, when they've seen the impact that victory has had, they will make themselves available to play for the national team. So the squad will only get stronger. We had a really young team. I was one of the older players, and I was 25 at the time. So the team, it will get stronger going forward. So hopefully we get many more victories, obviously with the national team.
Where does that moment rank in like your life and your career, like your family's life? Like they must, like I said about seeing you and your brother playing on the same pitch, must have been such a proud moment. Like full circle, really. That your family left Somalia before you was born, but now like they're back celebrating you representing that country.
Yeah, it was just an extremely proud moment. Especially for my parents as well. Like I said, they've made big sacrifices. Obviously, making the journey to Europe. It was not easy. Obviously, and to be able to give them something back. Obviously, like I said, I work my socks off. I'm a family man. I try my best obviously for my family, and it's just to see the smile on your mum's face. And we're on the FaceTime after the game, and she was so happy that her two sons obviously out on that stage. And the family, like my aunties and grandparents, and everyone was just really, really proud obviously that we were there and we were part of that victory for the nation. So it was a very special moment.
Just finally, like, what are your hopes going forward? Obviously, new club now, Southport. Hopefully, when the league gets underway, you'll be enjoying life with Southport just as much as you were with Curzon. And also, like, just your plans, like you said, after COVID with the national team. Do you have high hopes for the next 12 months or the next 2 years, just for the future?
Yeah, the last 12 months have been really good to me, on a personal note. And I think, we did well with Curzon as well, with, the team that we have had last year. I think we did quite well, making sure that we're safe, fighting against big teams with big budgets. But yeah, hopefully the next 12 months will be more successful, club and country level, hopefully. I'm really ambitious, and with the squad, obviously Liam has put together at Southport, seeing the lads and the, intensity in training is good. Pre-season has been good, but, it's sometimes not, a true reflection of what may happen during the season once the competitive football starts. So we're just really, looking forward to, the first competitive game, and take each game as it comes, and, see how we get on. But I think, like I say, with the squad we have got together, I think we can challenge. We can definitely challenge, and we just wait and see how the season pans out. And like I say, take each game as it comes, and do the best we can. Obviously, at club level, national team level, not sure what's going to happen. Obviously, with COVID and the restrictions that are in place at the moment, obviously in Africa and all over the world. So that's just wait and see. Club level right now, that's what my main focus is, and I want to have a successful season, hopefully.
Well, Mo, I wish you all the best for the future, and thank you for joining me today. It's been a really interesting chat.
No worries. It was a pleasure, mate.